Imagine this. You stumble across a game that isn't quite like anything you've seen before. It's not a shooter, not an RPG, not even a puzzle game. Instead, it's something stranger. Something far more creative. You drag and drop little cartoon figures, faceless and waiting, and suddenly they begin to sing, hum, beatbox, and build a track that feels alive. The screen turns into a stage, and for the first time, you're not just playing, you're conducting. The year was 2009. A tiny French studio called So Far So Good was the company that developed Incredibox. Not a company with skyscrapers, not a game you'd see at E3 or Gamescom. Just 3 creators, working quietly in a corner of the world. They never had the plan of making the next blockbuster. They weren't chasing trophies, they just wanted to create something alive. Something playful, something stylish. But what they built was strange. It wasn't a game in the usual sense. No enemies, no levels, no end credits. Just an interface, a blank stage, and little faceless characters waiting for you to dress them in sound. Each of them carried a fragment, a rhythm, a melody, a vocal. Together, they became hypnotic.
What the fuck are you saying?
Faint, a teacher here, a classroom there. Music instructors discovered that Incredibox was more than a toy, it was a tool. It gave kids a way to build music without theory or instruments, without frustration. Drag, drop, listen. Every child could be a conductor. Soon, classrooms became the first stage where Incredibox performed. But as whispers grew, kids went home and showed their parents. Friends shared it on school computers, links spread across forums, blogs, early social media, and by the early 2010s, the game had built a quiet, steady following. Back then, the internet was a wild frontier. Experiments ruled. If something had style, if it hooked you in the first 10 seconds, it could explode overnight. And Incredibox had both. It was minimal, stylish, and addictive. 10 minutes could vanish in a blink. A remix turned into an hour-long rabbit hole. Every track felt unique, like your own creation. And then came the accelerant, the gasoline on the fire. YouTube. Videos of Incredibox remixes started appearing everywhere. Some were simple showcases, people building a beat and letting it play. Others leaned theatrically, mixing visuals, layering sounds, and making entire songs out of the pieces. And people watched. Millions watched. Some uploads climbed into 7 figures, comment sections buzzing like the city streets at midnight. Communities formed, fans dissected every version and every bonus. They looked for patterns, hidden codes, and the unlockable mixes. Was Incredibox hiding a message? Were the faceless singers more than just performers, or were they something far worse?
No!
Theories spread like wildfire. To some, it wasn't just a toy, it was a full-blown horror mystery.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But here's where the trail twists. The novelty that gave Incredibox its wings also clipped them. The core loop, drag, drop, play, was hypnotic, but it didn't evolve, ever. After 10 remixes, the illusion thinned. After 20, the repetition showed. Fans still loved it, but casual players began to drift away. The crowd has seen the trick, and in gaming, the second act is always the hardest. The developers weren't blind to this. They tried to adapt. They released new versions, entirely new sound packs with distinct personalities. Alpha, Little Miss, Love, Brazil, Each wasn't just a set of sounds, it was the world. Sunrise brought warm, tropical rhythms. Alive leaned futuristic, almost sci-fi. Brazil pulsed with carnival energy. Each theme was like a mask, a fresh coat of paint on the old machinery. And the bonuses? They were brilliant. Unlockable tracks that played like secret cutscenes, triggered only when you arranged the right performers in the right order. To casual players, they were fun surprises. To the diehards, they were evidence, coded messages waiting to be solved. Communities obsessed over them, theorized about their meaning. Why did some sound uplifting? Why did others feel dark, almost ominous? The more you listened, the more the mystery deepened.
What the fuck are you saying?
For a while, the strategy worked. Loyalists kept the game alive. They dissected every update, every clue, but for the mainstream, the mask wasn't enough. The loop hadn't changed. Beneath the new paint, it was still the same old machine. And sameness is the silent killer of games. Once the beating heart of web gaming was dying, browser after browser cut ties, sealing off the digital playground where Incredibox had thrived. Countless games were buried, lost forever. If Incredibox didn't adapt, it would share the same fate. But luckily, it did adapt. The game jumped straight to mobile, sleek and refined. Touchscreen controls replaced the mouse. It felt natural, even better in some ways. But there was a price tag. In a market dominated by free-to-play titans, even the smallest fee felt like a wall. Players passed it by, not out of dislike, but out of habit. Free was the rule of mobile gaming, and Incredibox wasn't free. And so, the spotlight dimmed. The YouTubers who once lit up the stage moved on. Search results dwindled. The fire that once roared was now just a flicker. To the outside world, the case was closed. Incredibox was done. A relic of the Flash era, tucked into the dusty corners of internet history. But here's the twist no one saw coming. The game never died, it slipped underground. Classrooms still used it, teachers kept it alive in lesson plans. Communities flourished in Discord servers, sharing mixes, building theories. Modders cracked it open, built custom versions, stretched it into strange new shapes. Fan-made updates blurred the line between official and unofficial. The game lived a double life, forgotten by the mainstream, cherished even today. Not as a titan, not as a blockbuster, but as a survivor. So, at the end of the video, what really happened to Incredibox? It stepped back from the spotlight, choosing the shadows instead. It didn't vanish, it didn't fail, it endured. It became what it was always meant to be, a cult classic, a survivor of a dead age, a living truth. And maybe that's the real mystery, the real case. Sometimes survival isn't about being the biggest or the loudest. Sometimes it's about refusing to disappear. Incredibox had its moment in the sun, but it still beats with life. Quieter, yes, but steady. And if you listen closely, drag and drop one more sound, one more beat, you'll hear it. The pulse, the hum, the quiet endurance of a game that refuses to die.
I know you're smoking that pack.
This is the end of the video. I'm sorry for all of the videos that I've made recently. They haven't been as good as I wanted them to be, and that's because of school, and because I've been forcing them out before they were actually ready. Because of that, I will try my best to make better videos from now on. Live up to your taste, and ones that you could actually enjoy. But now, all I can say is, I will see you next time. This has been, like, comment, whatever you want. Bye.
I hate this channel.